unfortunately, we all learned this weekend that Hood style is probably not going to get it done against guys like Islam Makhachev or, most of the people that top 5 of the division. So, is what it is. Fortunately, Bobby Green didn't get it done, but still plenty of stuff happened because UFC Vegas 49, that was just kind of like, we had your Blinks bangers, which we'll get to in a second, but that was just kind of a banger of a card, But how you feeling after Saturday's round of fights?
Feeling great, man. Like we were talking about before, it's just 2 weeks in a row now of just top to bottom, fantastic fights.
Hey, and now we might be able to get 3 weeks in a row when we take a look at UFC 272. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into UFC Talk 80. We're now around 20 weeks away from episode 100 of this series. That's a lot of freaking talking, all right? So I appreciate that you guys have stuck around for this long, or if you're even new, then you guys are the best for coming along for the ride. But what we got for you guys today, we're going to go over UFC Vegas 49, including some fantastic performances like Terrence McKinney. We got Bahamondes versus Wrong. Arman messed up Joel Alvarez, and Islam Makhachev has apparently and officially screwed himself over, according to Dana White. We're going to talk what it might take for Khabib to make a return to the octagon and take a look at some of the best rivalries in UFC history in honor of the main event coming up this weekend between Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. And with that card come along, we got none other than Blake's bangers for that, along with our predictions. And we're going to just stick to the end because there's going to be a good name for the Nene of the week. But, of course, I'm your host, Ross Hahn, joined alongside by the UFC fourth and long correspondent, Blake Campbell. And, Blake, I'm assuming we're feeling pretty good for a week like this, right?
Oh, yeah. The bangers hit last week. I got the bangers picked out this week. I already know they're going to hit. Nothing's going to get canceled. Get rid of that Blake's curse. That's done for. We're good, man. I'm feeling great.
In before every fight you pick gets canceled, and then we riot because of you.
It's not going to happen. Hey. I danced to the rain gods. Well, I will be dancing to the rain gods tomorrow. I think it's raining tomorrow or Friday.
Wouldn't it be like, the blood gods, I guess, if you're going UFC?
Well, that's just the first one that's coming up. I'll cut myself and do a little whatever, a little ritual, if that's what it takes.
Hey, all I know is that if you somehow get these fights canceled, Blake, your address can be put on the internet.
That's fine.
Hey, I've seen my boy Blake though. His cardio is good. He got run all of you guys.
Not right now.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. I saw you last week.
It's getting better though.
Hey, speaking of cardio though, your boy is getting ready for fight shape. I know you saw that live in person since I was able to get out there for a little cardio sesh.
Oh yeah, 235er, moving like you're moving, bro. It's gonna be a bad night for whoever's going up against you.
Dude, the fight's coming along. The jits is getting there. I now have 2 submissions under my belt. Yeah, most recently got a little bit of arm and head choke. That one's a fun one because I have a throw right into the submission that I've been learning. So that's a lot of fun to do it to someone. For it to happen to you though, it freaking hurts.
Right.
Dude, I never realized that submission sucks because it's kind of like a crank and choke at the same time.
That's a little painful.
It's definitely a little bit painful. And, the jab's coming along, too, all right? Jab's coming along. We're getting there. We're going places.
Just keep it up. Don't get complacent.
Yes, sir, manager, sir.
Just remember, you know nothing.
I put the pressure on myself that I really have to perform. So, hey, Jendo, you better get your ass in the cage, boy. Because we're coming for you. Me and my manager.
Undefeated,
undisputed, and technically I've never lost a round. All right, so we're going to keep that pretty record coming into the end of the year. We'll keep you guys updated with all that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, so you're going to want to stay tuned. So anywhere you're listening from, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe to us on YouTube, Rumble. Also follow us over on Twitter and Instagram. Both those places you can find all of our great stuff at thefourthandlong.com. But we're going to get things started with UFC Vegas 49. And of course, Blake, we are kind of alluded to it, but did the bangers hit?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Come on. Let's take them back down memory row.
Hey, before lastly, is compared to the week before, these bangers undoubtedly hit, Blake. Round of applause. You knocked out the park.
Thank you very much. So let's remind the people of what we had. I believe we had Terrence McKinney, right? And Paris Zion. That ended in submission round 1. Terrence McKinney just came out guns blazing. Absolutely phenomenal. Banger. Zhu Rong versus Ignacio Bahamondes. That one lasted obviously a little bit longer. Took all the way till round 3 again for Bahamondes to get another really impressive finish. But again, another banger. Bahamondes looked so good in this fight.
Dude's a menace.
24 years old. He's going to be a problem, man. He's just getting better. And not to mention the finishes the quality of finishes he's getting. Just great. It's only going to do wonders for his career.
He's a fun fighter to watch.
Yeah, 100%. And then lastly, we had Arman Sarukian versus Joel Alvarez. And that was just a bloody freaking mess. Hope Joel Alvarez gets better soon. But Sarukian, I mean, my goodness, he came out there and he was ready to just put the beat down on that guy.
Yeah, Joel's face wasn't looking that great by the end of the fight.
Yeah, it was cut up pretty bad.
Yeah. There's just a little bit of blood was on there from that performance. But let's throw it back to Terrence McKinney because he scores his 11th professional first-round finish. Now that's 2 first-round finishes in the UFC. That one, his debut was at 6-second knockout against Matt Frivola, and now he gets another first-round submission victory this time. So, the first one, he shows he got the power. This one, now he shows his excellence on the ground. I think this guy's a force, and it's probably time we get a fringe top 15 fight, if you want to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy has all the talent in the world. He's young, he's athletic, he's got a good wrestling base, he's got powerful striking, he brings the fight to his opponent.
That's always
super
fun.
Aggressive. So, I mean, I'd love to see him fight someone that's right there in the top 15.
Hey, let me throw a couple names out there because, of course, this is assuming that Paddy Pimblett is going to win his next fight, which he absolutely should. If he loses that, that's going to be a disaster for the UFC. But there's already talked about this fight. They're shooting stuff back and forth. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get this booked. But Terrence McKinney versus Paddy Pimblett would be fire. But if we don't get that, I want to throw out another name, another really solid prospect in the lightweight division in Grant Dawson. What do you think about those names?
I mean, that's another phenomenal kind of rising prospect right now. I feel like the UFC doesn't usually put guys like that against each other. I would think that they would probably try to build off of someone else that's already established in the top 15. Maybe someone like, a Diego Ferreira or who else is down there? I want to say like Brad Riddell maybe.
Yeah,
or even
those guys are ranked, so you think the
Gamrot.
UFC would push that?
I mean, maybe. It kind of just depends, because I don't think they're going to give Paddy to a guy as dangerous as Terrence right now. I mean, that's not really a good thing for the UFC. But you never know. You never know. I mean, that would be like an absolutely amazing fight. And those guys already have a little bit of beef. Terrence and Paddy have been going back and forth on Twitter for some months.
It looks like at least some respectful beef, but beef nonetheless. It's
I think they both know that they're really good fighters, and they want to prove that they're the next thing up and coming.
They're definitely going to meet at some point as well. At least you mentioned Brad Riddell. Maybe with Fiziev, unfortunately, not be able to fight this week, and we can now get Fiziev versus Riddell, which was I was wanting that before RDA, if I'm being honest, because that's just a freaking fight right there.
Didn't they just fight?
Wait, no. I was thinking of someone else I wanted against Fiziev or Brad Riddell. Who was I thinking Brad Riddell? They just fought. You're right. I'm stupid. Um, wait
That
a
was a
minute.
good fight, though.
That was a good fight. You're right. Wait, but who was I? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a ghost
We
fight.
forgive you.
I'm gonna blame my last night's sleep. You know, I had, bro. Have you had a dream inside a dream before? I haven't had that for a while, but I had that last night.
I'm sure I have, but I can't recall off the top of my head like a specific instance. I'm sure that's happened though. Some
I don't think
Inception shit.
It hasn't happened for years, but like, hey, I swear, no drugs. You could test me, USADA. I had a dream that I was fighting Bill Gates in an alien, and then I woke up next to my girlfriend on the couch, and then I woke up again in my bed. You want
That's
to play
pretty
armchair psychologist? What do you think? What do you think's going on with me with the whole
Well,
Bill
first
Gates
things
alien?
first is, did you win the fight?
Oh yeah, no, I choked out Bill Gates.
Yeah, then you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, dude, the funny thing is, you know that throw with the arm and head choke.
Yeah,
I was legit repping that in my dreams. Is that bad side for Gendo?
I think so. I mean, if you're getting reps in your dreams, that's like, yeah, I don't think you can get too much better than that in terms of preparation.
I'm not even joking about that, dude. Like, I'm super serious. Like, I was even going through the proper technique, you know, with the whole foot placement, the hip, and then where the head's supposed to be, and even the little things like I was messing up. I was bringing my like hands towards me, but when you lock and choke, you gotta bring the wrists up. You know, if you see on camera, you gotta do that. I was even going through that steps in my head in my dream, bro. It's a little bit, you know, a little bit motivated.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Hey,
It's getting ingrained in your subconscious.
motivated Ross Allen beats a motivated Conor McGregor. All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
If you get to weigh in at what you're currently at and he gets to weigh in at what he's at, maybe.
No. If Conor McGregor weighs in 145, I think he still whips my ass.
It'd be close. You might be able to do something.
Bro, he's gonna
You're a
land
big
one.
boy.
He's gonna land
He's
one
like
left
5
hook.
foot. He's like 5'8", 5'9", dude.
Is he?
Yeah, he's shorter than me.
Should I just stick my arm out, you know, and just kind of hold him out? Can't reach
Yeah, I
me.
think that work. Just can't let him get close.
Can we make that happen? Me versus Conor McGregor.
No, as your manager, I do not sanction that fight.
But as a manager, don't you have to look out for the paycheck?
Yeah, but you ain't ready for that.
But I'm ready for
hospital
that.
yet.
I'll get my ass whooped for a paycheck. We've been over this. And speaking about getting your ass whooped for a paycheck, what a transition. Let's talk about the main event of UFC Vegas 49. I'm so sorry, Bobby. We love you, but kind of got your ass whooped for a paycheck right here because Islam Makhachev and kind of we all thought was going to happen. We hoped that it was going to be something else, but we all kind of expected this first round finish.
I was hoping it'd at least be competitive.
Yeah, but what it wasn't.
No.
So I would say that goes to show you more how good Islam is, though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's
It
why I was
definitely
thinking
isn't a
Bobby
knock on
Green
Bobby.
versus Brad Riddell. That's the fight I wanted.
Yeah, that'd be a really good fight. I mean, Bobby Green is a top 15 fighter, in my opinion.
Yes.
He just went against one of the top dudes on very little. Like, I feel like Islam is a guy that you want to be able to drill tons of times, right? Like, you want to be put in those uncomfortable positions so you know what you're going to be going up against. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Bobby did not have a lot of time to do that. And the guy that he was fighting before that, it wasn't really a similar fight. So it's just kind of a tough situation for Bobby. And, you know, everyone wanted him to win and wanted it to be competitive. But I think in the back of our minds, we kind of knew what was going to happen already.
Yeah.
And anything can happen in a fight, for sure. But when you're at this high of a level, it's really tough for a guy that's coming in on 4 days' notice with no real focused preparation on a guy that is also so high level. It's not really fair. Mm-hmm. But
well, that's like
he's a gangster for taking the fight still, for sure.
Absolutely is. No. There's like zero respect lost, you know, for Bobby Green. And it's tough for almost any fighter in the promotion, whether it's a 4-day notice or a 4-month notice. It's still going to be really tough night in the office.
Yeah.
And
against a specialist like that, you know, where there still hasn't been really a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a foolproof game plan for the Dagestani wrestling approach.
It's not there, man.
There's been instances where, some of them have been beaten in other promotions and even in the UFC, like once or twice. But in terms of Khabib, no, never happened.
No, but also Khabib is not undefeated as a coach now. He kind of coaches carbon copies of himself, so it's possible.
And that's what I'm kind of referencing too, is some of his fighters have lost now, so there is, not saying it's impossible, but I'm also not saying everyone's on Khabib's level and Islam's level.
And also Islam just actually might be better than Khabib too.
We'll see. Time will tell. He still has a lot of fights to go through, because I think the Bobby Green fight was, don't get me wrong, Bobby Green, I respect him as a fighter, but he's not a top 5 guy.
No. And
I think that fight kind of proved it. He has a lot of work to do.
It's not like there's anything wrong with not being a top 5 guy.
Not anything wrong at all. But I'm just saying, Islam still has a lot to prove himself. Like, he took out a guy he should take out in impressive fashion. Fantastic.
He's kind of done that.
He needs to now level up. He needs to level up a little bit. He's not really taking. He's kind of taking sidesteps and it's not to his fault. It's completely not his fault. Everyone cancels or, pulls out on him, and it sucks. And so he can't control who he's given, but he still needs to fight someone, I think, that proves he deserves that that title shot.
Exactly. I mean, as of now, he only has one win over a top 10 ranked fighter, and that is Dan Hooker. That was short notice. So, also, that was a fight that Dan Hooker was absolutely
who also fights in another division now.
Yeah. I hope everything works out for him, because Dan Hooker's a lot of fun to watch. But Islam, he had the chance to fight legitimate competition. I think a guy that's often overlooked, in terms of skill, is Rafael Dos Anjos, because this guy is a badass. Also, he's just kind of a legend for taking all these short notice fights. He doesn't really care. He'll fight anyone. And he even wanted to fight Islam Makhachev. This fight was supposed to happen, I think, late last year. Obviously, things got messed up. They never got fully booked. But they had the chance to run back. Of course, it might be a tough ask for Islam to fight, just a week later. But this was at 100.
I think it was going to be at 160.
Yeah, so they were calling 160 and then 165. Then but Islam was like, no, 170. RDA even went, okay, 170. He called his bluff, and that fight obviously didn't get made. Now we get RDA versus Moicano, and we got Dana White coming out on Wednesday saying that, essentially Islam screwed himself over because he passed up a chance to fight RDA 170. So now they're going to go and rebook Islam versus Dariush once Dariush is healthy, and presumably that's going to be for the number 1 contender fight. So Islam is not getting the next title shot now, if that fight's going to happen, because that fight's not going to happen before we get Gaethje versus Oliveira. So is this fair? And also, what do you think about the possibility of this opening up the door for Conor McGregor getting the next lightweight title shot?
I think it's fair. I mean, we kind of just detailed that in our conversation right before this, where I think he still has at least 1 or 2 guys he needs to beat before he can deserve that title shot. So, in principle, no, I don't have any problem with where the direction the UFC is headed with Islam. For the title, if Conor McGregor snuck in,
title shot, would Islam get the title shot if he beats RDA?
Dude, if he took that fight on, 4 or 5 days notice, even if it was at 170, 165, 160, whatever, I mean, that you got a really, really good case, because you're scratching the back. You're scratching Dana White's back, the UFC's back. You scratch their back, usually they're going to scratch your back. Look at Conor McGregor. Anytime they needed something from him, he said yes, yes, yes. And look where that got him. I mean, the dude gets basically anything he asks for.
A title shot.
That's where I was going. And if Conor McGregor does get the title shot, you know me, dude. I'm all about the entertainment. I think I watch UFC for entertainment value. I do like the rankings and to hold true and to have that, almost like sequential nature.
It gives credibility.
Yeah, but at the same time, dude, you got to recognize this is for profit, and Conor McGregor is the cash cow. And you can't lie, dude. Like, anytime that guy fights, like, people are just juiced, bro. People are pumped up. People want to watch that, like, just to see what's the crazy shit he's going to say. Is there going to be a ridiculously fast knockout? There's just so many fun things that happen when it's a McGregor fight week, and just when a fight for McGregor is announced in general. So I can't really hate on the UFC if McGregor does somehow jump the ladder again. But I would be really, really pissed off if Gaethje gets jumped. I want Gaethje to get that fight first, and then Conor McGregor can insert himself. Yeah. Well, we'll see when we see, dude. You never know with the UFC. But I'm hoping Gaethje gets that fight.
He right now I forget that it's actually like officially official, but that's a fight that's happening.
I just don't know if they've put a date on it yet, have they?
No, that UFC 274, that's going to take place in Arizona. Actually, they just announced. Now they're trying to get 275 for Singapore. So I don't know what that's going to do to our time frame when we actually get to watch that fight.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully it's not one of these, 3 a.m. Chinese fights that no one watches. That one was horrible, and I didn't even care about missing that one. But it's an interesting case for Conor because right now he's ranked 9th in the lightweight division. He's behind Dan Hooker, who of course is now fighting in the featherweight division. Tony Ferguson is ahead of him. You got RDA, Chandler, Dariush, Makhachev, Dustin, and Justin. So those guys are fighting. It's kind of tough because, RDA versus Moicano, I guess you might be able to say he's RDA more deserving than Conor McGregor. Tony Ferguson, I don't think he's more deserving. Dariush and Makhachev are going to run it back. Michael Chandler just fought for the title. Dustin Poirier just fought for the title. So it might just really, the timing-wise, it might really, really work out for Conor McGregor. And I'd be lying if I said that it doesn't matter who wins between Gaethje and Oliveira. Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje, that's a banger. Conor McGregor versus Charles Oliveira, that's a banger. So to your point, if it's just for entertainment, man, honestly, for I guess the credibility of the rankings and just for I guess the respectfulness of the sport, it's a hard sell. But in pure entertainment value, this fight really writes itself. It really sells itself.
And people shit on Conor, but just keep in mind who his losses are. 2 times to Dustin, 1 time to Khabib, and then obviously the one at the welterweight, I think, for Nate Diaz, which, whatever. Am I forgetting anything? Obviously the Floyd one, but we're talking straight to the UFC.
Yeah. And to be fair, you never know. Dustin Poirier obviously won the first round against Conor, but you never know what's going to happen over a 5-round fight. That was a doctor stoppage. So realistically, technically he's 1-2 against Dustin, but as the Conor McGregor fans like to argue, he's 1-1. Yeah,
so he's really only lost to the top guys, minus Nate.
Yeah. Hey, top guys.
Yeah, in some people's minds. I love Nate too. You know me. I'm a Nate Diaz fan.
I know, but you keep it real.
I'm a realist though. I feel like Conor McGregor is still as present as ever in these championship fight talks just because of who he is, how much money he brings in, and the quality of fights that he produces. Every time he fights, I feel like every fight of his, there hasn't been a boring one. I'm trying to remember a boring Conor McGregor fight. I don't think that exists. He's beating the shit out of somebody, or he's tapping. Or Dustin finally.
Every fight has been fun, So
yeah,
hey, that's and also Conor McGregor fighting for the title, headline a pay-per-view. That's how you sell a $70 pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
One of the few ways you can actually do that. So I think that is a very, very real possibility that we get to see in the lightweight division. But that's going to do for our breakdown of UFC Vegas 49. I can't believe we've already had 49 of these cards in Vegas. First off,
good times.
They've been bangers. Also, shout out to and technically, one of the favorite spots to fight would be Derek Brunson because Blonde Brunson might have lost once, but he is also undefeated when it comes to Vegas. So Derek Brunson, lover of Vegas, and also every fighter lover of Vegas, especially when we know the UFC paychecks, no income tax. So at least you guys are not getting screwed out of the little money you can make. But we're going to jump into the next segment here. Of course, it's honestly my favorite one. You know, it's what the blank with Blake, as Blake has 3 blanks to fill in the blank, and it's up to him to fill in the blank with whatever the blank he wants, because he is Blake. And he is anything but blank. And back, 8 years ago, he liked to plank. Remember
Good
planking?
job, Ross.
Good
job. I don't know. I mean, I may have planked once in my life, but I was more about the Faith Hills, if you know what I'm saying.
Little Faith Hill action. Shout out South Park for keeping me cultured. I was more of a Tebow kind of guy, you know.
Oh yeah,
that took over,
dude.
Especially if you're a Broncos fan. You had the Tebow everywhere.
Of course, it's classic.
Hey, let us know. It really, that's the ultimate question, Blake. Are you pro planking or are you pro Faith Hilling?
Ooh, there you go.
Right,
just tweet that out. Get a poll going.
Bet I will. Absolutely. Actually, we're going to do this as I'm recording. I don't care. Let me pull Twitter real quick.
Oh, Ross is getting crazy, guys.
I'm getting crazy. I'm going psycho, man. All right, we do things. I'm kind of impulsive when it comes to things. So you're going to be able to find out. Go back to the time you find out when we were recording this. The day before. Serious. Also, you can find this at Fourth Long Radio over on Twitter. All right, this is going to be recording as I type. Oh, that's a need spell check. Recording as I type. Talking about planking. Also, speaking of planking, I hate that for core exercise. Are we on the same boat there? It sucks.
It's tough, but it's necessary.
Absolutely, dude. My core has never been this sore since my training session on Monday. It was wild.
And we'll keep it up, man. You got to keep going further and further. Get them 6-pack washboard abs.
Hey, dude, if I can get abs at 205 pounds, I'm gonna look like a hunk. All right. I'm gonna look good.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Hey, you weight cut to what, 170, you would say?
I could cut to, if it just depends what is in it for me.
To look
on my
good.
own, I could probably cut to 180.
180? Ooh.
If I want to, because I like food. But if I am motivated and determined, I could probably get to 170.
Does a motivated Blake Campbell take out Conor McGregor?
No. Not even close. Now, trash talk, I have a good chance. I think I could get in his head a little bit.
Ooh, okay. Hey, you heard me, though.
When it comes to actual physical contact, no, he'll probably beat my ass senseless.
Hey, that's fair. My promo game's getting a little bit better. So, we got big things happening. All right, there we go. That's tweeted. So that's fun. Back to the regular scheduled programming. It's what the blank with Blake. For those that don't know, we got 3 statements with a blank in them. It's up to Blake to fill in the blank with whatever he wants. It could be a paragraph. It could be a sentence, a word, a grunt. I don't care. It's all up to the big boss man with this one. And starting us off with what the blank with Blake is, blank can make Khabib Nurmagomedov return to the UFC. Thanks for the retweet, by the way.
I got you. I think if we go back to the hypothetical situation that we presented beforehand, say Gaethje or Oliveira, doesn't matter, right? Whoever wins, and then it's announced, are going to defend the belt against Conor. Conor wins that fight, right? He beats up Oliveira or Gaethje, whoever it is. This is all strictly hypothetical.
Yeah.
So Conor is now champion again, double-time lightweight champion. Crazy.
Ooh.
And then guess who he's got defended against? Islam Makhachev. Sparks his ass in one round, knocks his ass out silly, and guess what? The Khabib rematch is happening. I think that's like that could possibly that would take like a year and a half probably to happen, but it could. I think that is a path that could be followed.
Honestly, that might be the highest selling pay-per-view of all time.
Dude, that would be crazy. Because then it's like the Conor hype would be back up to 1 million.
The Conor hype will be as big as ever. The Khabib hype is right there. Khabib revenge on Conor and for his boy.
Dude, it'd be crazy.
Blake, you just printed millions of dollars for the UFC. Congrats.
It'd be crazy. I saw a tweet about it today. I think it was like a fake media outlet or someone putting words in Khabib's mouth that if Conor McGregor ever
was the
beat Islam,
FMMA press?
I don't think it was them this time.
Because those guys
was
are great,
scrolling
by
earlier.
the way.
Yeah, they're okay when you know that they're fake, but some people don't have common sense, so
That's
just
the
like
funniest part. Hey, not gonna lie, the first couple times I saw them, they got me.
Yeah, until you click on their profile and see what's going on.
Well, some of them are,
and sometimes the headlines are just like too like
outlandish.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you're like, well, I mean, I've had that thought, but I know that's too crazy to
right. But there's a couple where it's
out.
like you could definitely see it happening. I was like, oh, is this real?
Mm-hmm.
But no, unfortunately, some of them have been really good though. I honestly one of the most credible media outlets in all of MMA. Especially, at least they're not coming up with some really stupid questions at press conferences. So shout out them. But statement number 2, Blake, is that Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos is blank.
I have a lot to say about that one. I think it's a good fight, but I think it just goes to show the state of the flyweight division for women.
Not great, huh?
Where you have these up-and-coming contenders that look so promising, and it's like within 2 or 3 fights, it's already a title shot. And that's tough, especially against someone that's as talented, as skillful, as consistent as Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, it's a little rough.
And stuff. It's not like Santos is a bad fighter. She's, one of the best in the world, but doesn't really. If you want to talk about levels to this game,
it kind of came out of nowhere, right?
I was not expecting this. Yeah,
I wasn't even on my radar.
No, I was. I honestly, I had no idea she was even in consideration for a title fight. I thought we were maybe going for trying to hype up Lauren Murphy again or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. But I mean, and even looking at the she's number 5 in the rankings right now. If you look on the website, and every single fighter above her has already fought for the title. Jennifer Maia, Lauren Murphy, Shakagian, Andrade.
It makes sense. I guess with the talent that the UFC has in front of them, this fight makes sense. But if you actually compare the talent, it doesn't make sense. The UFC's a hard they're in a hard spot. I don't blame them for putting fights together like this. It's what you have.
It's probably the most competitive fight that they have right now that hasn't been done yet. So why not give her a chance, I guess? It's not like I'm saying I'm against it. It's just, it is a little surprising, and it kind of, like I said, just goes to show you the state of that division and kind of a couple of divisions in the UFC.
Especially the women's. It's, at least the bantamweight division actually has some competition now, apparently.
Yeah.
It's up to the flyweights to get in check.
And the featherweights.
What featherweights?
Exactly.
You mean the big bantamweights? God, that has to be one of the worst divisions in all of professional MMA. Is the UFC women's featherweight? It's
just not developed enough yet.
No, especially since they're probably not even going to get Kayla Harrison. She's probably going to go back to PFL, which can't blame her. She's going to make a lot of money, going to win a lot of fights.
Easy money.
Dude, base salary with a contract is going to be better than pretty much anywhere else. And then she's almost guaranteed to win that extra $1 million at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her for that one.
Easy money, dude.
Hey, what did Chael Sonnen say? The easiest fights for the most
amount of money.
Gail Harrison is
Easy.
printing money. Yeah, and
She could open up her own bank in a couple years, probably.
Bank of Harrison.
Bank of Kayla, whatever.
Kayla makes bank.
She does.
She does. You're right about that one. But the last statement I got for you this week is in honor of the fight we got going down at UFC 272. The best rivalry in UFC history is blank.
I think hype-wise, for me, it was Conor versus Nate. I mean, both of those two first fights, it was just nuts. And the first fight came out of nowhere and became such a, just phenomenon.
Well, it's made on a week notice?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was 10 days, 7 days.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks.
Something crazy. Yeah, so, I mean,
that
was an amazing rivalry.
Actually submitted Conor McGregor.
I think the best thing about that is the fact that no one was expecting anything from it, and we got so many legendary lines from it. Like the press stuff from that first build-up was so freaking good. I mean, the sound bites you got from Nate, the sound bites you got from McGregor, the back and forth they would have on the talk shows,
the post-fight
just
interview,
awesome.
man,
just great. But I would say so that would be for the hype, but for actual legacy and determining who's the top dog in that division and for belts, I would probably have to go with OGs, Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell.
I like that one. The rivalry that essentially made the light heavyweight division.
And then also a little bit more recent, but still a little OG, John Jones versus DC.
I like those are two really, really good picks. Honestly, those three in general could probably be the best rivalries in UFC history.
They're up there. They're definitely
even
up there.
Dustin Poirier in Conor McGregor kind of got up there too.
Yeah, but it just didn't have the same flair. I feel like that the Nate
But
fights
also,
had.
it is Nate freaking Diaz.
I'd almost put Khabib and Conor. I'd probably put Khabib and Conor above Nate Dustin and Conor.
That goes to show you how good Conor McGregor's been. You know, he has three of the best rivalries in sports history.
He makes it interesting, man.
Conor McGregor knows how to make money. He knows how to sell pay-per-views.
Knows how to piss people off.
I think that's the thing. Is Conor McGregor better at fighting or better at pissing people off? I think it's the latter.
It's pretty equal at this point. He's pretty good at both.
He's pretty damn good, dude. And in terms of, at the least, he's good at being divisive. Because take a look at MMA Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, peak MMA Twitter might have been the lead up between him and Khabib. In terms of battles between fan bases.
Maybe. I don't know. It was good. It was definitely popping, but
I do remember, that's when I was still playing football. So, in between meetings and practices and stuff, we were trying to watch all the press conferences going on, and those were pretty damn funny. Was that the one Conor McGregor was drunk for? Well, at least one of them, right?
Showed up with his proper 12, offered shots to Khabib, who's is it called abstinent from liquor?
Yeah.
He abstains from drinking liquor.
Yeah.
He practices abstinence with liquor.
He doesn't drink. How about that? You're trying to use too big of words, Blake. You got to remember who we are.
I'm pretty sure I nailed that.
I think you're right. Yeah, I mean,
you had to dumb it down a little bit. That's okay. But
hey, that's what I'm here to do, bro. I'm here for the
pull out a dictionary and a thesaurus and check myself right now.
You freaking thesaurus, yeah. Is that going to be your nickname now, Blake? The thesaurus?
No, it's actually Canelo.
Says who?
Says everybody. Everybody calls me Canelo.
I've never heard anyone call you that once.
It's because I look just like him.
Do you?
Punch just like him, too.
I don't know about that one, but I love you. I'll let you have that one though. It is a sign of respect and friendship. I'll let you have that one. But that's going to wrap it for What the Blank with Blake. He gave us his responses to what can make Khabib come back to the UFC, what Valentin Shevchenko versus Talia Santos really is, and the best rivalry in UFC history. So go ahead, sound off in the comments over on YouTube or Rumble. Hit us up our socials, Twitter and Instagram, or best of all, leave a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts. And Blake, this leads us into one of the last parts about today's show, and that is a little bit of a preview for UFC 272, Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, the grudge match that we've all been waiting for. But hey, man, it might not be the best pay-per-view of all time. Technically, this really should be a title fight. Luckily, Dana's been alluding to it a little bit. We've been talking about that for a little bit now, that the BMF belt should be on the line. First of all, if you're going to have a championship, you should defend it. And this is a perfect time to put that belt to use, especially since there's not really a title fight headlining this pay-per-view. So put the BMF belt on the line, please. But a couple of fights that I'm looking forward to the most, besides the bangers. I mean, look at Negamorano versus Nechuwuku. That's a good fight right there. Maria Agapova and Marina Moroz. Jalen Turner versus Jamie Malarkey. This is a pretty solid prelim card to lead up here. And of course, we get to see RDA back in action. That guy always brings the heat, so I'm excited. Unfortunately, we get stuck with another Greg Hardy main card pay-per-view fight somehow, even though he's 4-4 in the UFC. So who cares? But hopefully the polar bear, right? Sergey Spivak. I think that's his nickname. Hopefully he just kind of mauls Greg Hardy, because no one cares about him. Am I in the wrong?
About Greg Hardy?
Yeah.
I think people care about him, but they just want to, they care about him getting knocked out.
That's a good point. It's unfortunate
and he
that
gets knocked out pretty often, so I feel like it's...
him versus Tai Tuivasa?
Yeah.
Wait, did you see the stuff you're saying about Tai real quick, where it's saying, he doesn't have a chin?
Greg said that?
Yeah.
Recently?
I think Tuesday.
That's... I beg to differ.
Hey, football and MMA career, that kind of probably isn't great for your brain, so it's kind of showing. But
I mean, yeah, Ty literally put that guy to sleep.
I don't know.
And he just hit, he just took ground and pound punches from Derek Lewis, full force.
Also,
ate him.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. But besides the point, let's get into it. What fights can we not miss on this pay-per-view? Give us the Blake's Bangers for this week of fights.
All right, so for this week...
I'm excited.
We're going to go with the prelims first. We're going to go Marina Rodriguez versus Yan Xiaonan. I feel like this fight...
How is that a prelim fight, bro? That is ridiculous.
They just want to have some... They just wanted to spice up the prelims a little bit, probably. They just wanted to put some firepower on the prelims.
That's a good ass fight. That's probably number one contender fight, possibly at least after Carla Esparza.
That'll probably come on right around 4:15. So, not bad timing. A lot of people watching that fight. Hopefully, I think that's a really important fight though for that strawweight division. That could pretty much line up who's in the fight for the number one contender fight. If Jan wins, probably, and possibly if Marina wins, that might solidify her a title shot.
We think it's going to be Rose versus... They've essentially confirmed it's going to be Rose versus, Cookie Monster there. And then this probably gets next in line, right? Because...
I would think so. If Rodriguez wins, I would think so.
The winner of this fight will have one more fight before they get a
number one contender fight.
But Rodriguez is great. Jan is great, so... Even though she did just get messed up by, Cookie Monster.
The title challenger.
Yeah. But if Rodriguez wins, I think you're right. I think she gets that next title shot. It'd be hard to deny her.
All right. And then next up, we have Kevin Holland versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira. This should be a fantastic fight. I'm expecting fireworks. I'm expecting guys to go in there and just let it all out and probably be... I think it's either going to be a knockout or like a really like fight of the night back and forth decision. Kind of just depends if Holland can go in. I think Holland's probably going to be considerably bigger. I think he's 6'2", and I believe Oliveira is 5'9". So it's going to be a little bit of a size advantage. Oh, but Oliveira's 5'11"?
Yeah, but still has a few inches on him, though.
Yeah.
Holland does.
I thought he was 5'9". Google
hey, at
lying
least that's
to me
what
over
the
here.
Google is telling me. If not, we could blame the overlords over there.
Damn, Google's telling me one number and it's telling you another on the UFC Google page.
Dang, what we got going on here?
Huh. So what's his height? What is
his
Alex
height?
Oliveira's height? Is it 5'9" or 5'11"? Should we just say 5'10"? Put it right in the middle?
Well, okay, so I guess it's gone from Wikipedia. Wikipedia says 5'11". Or do we have to go?
That could be him though. Wikipedia can be edited by anybody. What if that's Cowboy Oliveira?
Let's see SureDog real quick. SureDog also says 5'11".
Damn, so Google's just playing with the man's name.
All right, and one more check. Tapology. Final confirmation. Let's see. And it has him at 5'11".
Google, you need to step your game up, bro.
Yeah, so I'm going with that, bro.
I was going to say, because I didn't think Oliveira was that short, but there's still going to be a 3-inch advantage for Holland. I think he's going to be naturally the bigger guy, coming from a bigger weight class.
Let's see.
Obviously going to have more pounds
reach-wise,
to cut.
at least, Oliveira is 76.5, and Holland is 81-inch, so about 5 inches there, about 4.5.
4.5-inch reach advantage for Holland. Yeah, so like I said, should be a really good fight. We'll see who takes that one.
I like that, man. That's an exciting one.
I think this is Holland's first time fighting in welterweight for the UFC, right?
Yeah, for the UFC.
Yep. So that should be good. We'll see how he performs there. Could find a new home or could be sent packing again. We'll see. Lastly, for the bangers, we're going to go Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. Shout out to Bryce for getting those camo shorts with real tree
those
camo.
camo shorts are sexy.
It's going to be great.
Those are good.
I think Bryce has an uphill battle here. You know, he's fighting a kind of two specialists fighting each other. Bryce more of the ground guy, kind of, you know, country strong, choke you out type guy, just gritty and dirty and not afraid of anything. Whereas Edson Barboza, a guy that operates fantastic at range. He's a great counter puncher. He can put pressure on you with his striking. He can knock you out in one hit. So it's going to be interesting to see Bryce's game plan against Barboza. But I think if Bryce can manhandle him, get him up against the cage, take him down, maybe ground and pound, he can wear on Barboza a little bit. It just depends if his striking defense can withstand that, you know. It's not an if, it's a when with Barboza, you know, when he strikes.
Yep. Can
he withstand that? Is his defense going to hold up?
Hey, one of the big questions, though, does Bryce Mitchell walk out to his own music?
Oh, man. I didn't even think about that, dude. That'd be crazy if you did that. On a pay-per-view, too? Yeah, that'd be a good option. We'll see.
You want to talk about self-promotion? Hey, that's like, you know, tens of thousands of people in that stadium. Go ahead, whip out your phone and get the Shazam going real quick.
Yeah, I don't even know if that would work with Shazam, though, honestly.
I don't know. I'd probably he definitely could shine some light on it, though. I'm
Pretty sure
John
he just
Anik
released it on Bandcamp, right? I don't even know if he put that on Spotify.
Probably, yeah, you're right.
I'd have to do some researching.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, that would be a cool optic. You know, John Anik would be plugging the hell out of him, you know, if he came out to that, too. They would say something on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, good business moves only, bro. That's all I'm saying. But let's get to the main event here. It's time. Of course, we'll give you our full card predictions. Comes out on Saturday once we all fight for the Suck My Pick title, which is still held by Jalen, because I swear, dude, we always just tie against him. But you know,
Jalen always picks the favorites, though, dude. He needs to start being a little more adventurous.
Hey, man, I can't fault him for winning. You know, that's like Islam, bro. His fight style might not be exciting, but he wins.
I guess.
But let's get to the main event here. Of course, a fight years in the making. Apparently, the real king of Miami and Colby Covington going against the king of Coconut Creek and Jorge Masvidal. Man, Colby was killing it in the press conferences today, and I love. It's kind of tough for John Morgan, but still making John Morgan have to do 10 push-ups before he answers the question. And he even responded, "No, he is not joking." But this is going to be great. The press conference that we get later this week is either going to be extremely cringe or extremely funny. So it's just kind of time will tell. But Blake, is this fight going to be closer than a lot of us are thinking, or is it kind of going to go the way as expected?
I guess it kind of depends what your expectation is.
Oh, what's your expectation then?
Dude, these guys know a lot about each other. I think that I mean, personally, are we doing predictions now, or what are we?
Yeah,
what are we
predictions,
doing?
bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Colby unanimous decision.
I
just feel like he's already gonna know everything that Masvidal's gonna be coming at him with. So I think he's gonna be able to. There might be a couple times where it gets a little, dicey in there for him, but I think he'll be able to establish control, use his wrestling, and just grind out a victory.
Do you think Colby tries to go, for the violence, or do you think Colby uses at least a fair amount of wrestling in this one just to neutralize Jorge?
I think he's going to use a fair amount of wrestling, and it'd be stupid not to. I mean, he's clearly got a huge advantage there, so why not use that?
Yeah, fair enough, man.
If he can get in dominant positions and just start raining down punches, I mean, dude, that's why not? That's fantastic.
I think Jorge might win a round in this fight. I think at best, so if it goes to if it's going to end by knockout, probably Jorge. But if it ends in decision, I think at best it's a 49-46 for Colby Covington, or in terms of best for Jorge Masvidal. At worst, it's probably a 50-45 across the board. And I'm sure it's going to be, I guess, closer than a 50-45, but I don't see Colby really losing around, because in terms of, path to victory, there's not a whole lot you could say for Jorge Masvidal, unfortunately.
Flying knee. Nice, lucky punch.
Whatever dropped Darren Till, I guess.
He would have to really, out-volume Colby, and I just don't think that's...
No one out-volumes Colby.
Really a possibility. I mean, dude, they're identical in terms of their size, stature. I think Jorge has, a 2-inch reach advantage if the numbers on Google that are provided to me are correct.
I don't know, but you've been lied to already tonight.
It's just so close everywhere, and I think the number one thing, I was telling you this weekend, that separates the good from the great is going to be that cardio, that mental fortitude to say, I'm tired, but I know he is tired too, and I'm for damn sure going to make sure he is more tired than I am, and I'm going to keep outworking him. I think Colby has that ingrained into his mind, whereas Masvidal, I don't think, we've really seen that too many times from him. Anytime he's winning, usually it's a pretty clean victory where he knocked the guy out, flying knee, nice hook, whatever. It's been you haven't really seen him grind out those victories where when you're going up against a Colby, you're going up against a Gilbert Burns, you're going up against a Kamaru Usman. There's no quit in those guys. There's no quit. You literally have to kill them in there. So we'll see if Masvidal has what it takes to defeat Colby, but I don't think so, man.
Yeah, it's weird with Jorge making the comments, of course. I mean, take all these with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, they're talking smack, but he was kind of trying to call Colby Covington a quitter. I mean, I don't know, man. Take a look at Colby's last couple fights against Kamaru Usman. I don't see a quitter in that.
Yeah.
I see a guy that was going to win the first fight before Kamaru Usman knocked him out. And I see a guy that arguably should have gone to draw in the second fight. So, dude, and it might very well be a tough night out for Jorge Masvidal, but hopefully he surprises us and we just get a barn burner of a fight. Definitely would not be complaining about that, especially in one of these high-level grudge matches the way we're getting right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is about to going to cap it for us. But before we start to sign off, it is time for the Nene of the Week. And for me, I have to give it to the guy that we already talked about earlier this show, Blake. And that is Islam Makhachev. Because it comes down to one. First of all, he's not getting a title shot, and he might get passed by Conor McGregor, which is kind of a nay-nay in itself. And another one is by not accepting the RDA fight. Even though it's only on 1 week notice, I strongly believe that matchup-wise, he'd have an easier fight against RDA than he would have against Dariush. Are we kind of on the same wavelength right there?
I don't know. I feel like they're pretty similar.
Fair enough. It's the ground game. Obviously RDA has hands made of bricks. And could, punch them like... Dude, we almost got... you saw this, right? We almost got Paul Felder versus RDA, the rematch.
Yeah, I'm so cool off of that.
You don't care?
No offense to Paul.
Oh, that's tough.
It's just, let's get someone in there that's like an active fighter. Is Paul even still training? Like, come on.
No, he retired.
Yeah, come on.
Fair enough. But I think that, honestly, there really wasn't, like, a clear candidate for, or a clear winner of, for the Name of the Week. So, hey.
I think Islam's fair, dude. He was put in just a prime position to really launch himself, catapult himself forward, and like put even more respect on his name. And
he would have won everyone's respect.
Even though RDA is not a top 5 guy, it's still a guy that, he's been around the top 5, if not in the top 5, consistently for like several years.
It's been one of the better.
He's been a champion.
Yes.
So fighting that guy on 4 days' notice, you would get a big feather in your cap if you were able to beat him. So
exactly,
yeah, I think it's a fair nay-nay.
Might have got a title shot from that one, but now he ducks an RDA who called his bluff. That's not a good look. Apparently not to Big Boss Man in Dana White as well. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking to the end here. Some little information. Trucker hats hopefully will be getting out to all you guys by the end of this month. I know it's been going on for a little bit, but finally reached a number where we kind of needed to for me to essentially not lose a bunch of money on this, and so I can still get you guys your fantastic merchandise. But that means you still have some time to get these pre-ordered. So go on over to thefourthandlong.com/apparel and get yours ordered today. But also a huge shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. If you want to become a member starting just $1 a month, you can help continue to fund the show, so we can continue to put out great content that all you guys love, and I'm so happy you enjoy this. But shout out to our donors, Ray Rodriguez, for all your card collecting needs. Go on over to @TheBigBatBox on Instagram. Shout out to Ryan Watson and Neil Wiley. But Blake, also, before we get your thoughts real quick, planking is leading Faith Healing 71% to 29%. So that's where the audience stands at the moment. Your thoughts?
My thoughts on
the I guess Faith Healing going to be the losing trend. Do you even care? You probably
really don't have a dog in that fight.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't really think you had a whole lot to say about that one, but your thoughts.
I voted Faith Hill though, so I'm glad someone else voted with me at least.
Fair, you got one going right there. But your thoughts on UFC Vegas 49 in one word or phrase?
Just keep stacking, bro. Let's keep stacking these good cards.
Keep
We're
stacking.
Like 2 for 2 in these last 2 weeks.
Hey, hopefully, unless they really mess it up, it's going to be 3 for 3. Ladies and
I don't see
gentlemen,
how it could not be 3 for 3. It's got to be.
Unless something catastrophic happens, bro. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Fingers crossed we don't get any curses from Blake this week. Hope you guys have a fantastic time watching UFC 272, and we will see all of you in the next one.